Hi there, it's Jermaine from LiveWellZone.com. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach and a yoga teacher who helps women to balance their hormones naturally. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a special category of foods that many of us don't eat enough, and yet these foods are critical when it comes to balancing your hormones. Now, the foods I'm referring to are bitter foods. Now, I know initially this may not sound very appetizing, but stick around because I think that once you understand the critical role that these foods play in your diet and for your hormone health, that you'll be eager to actually incorporate them on a more regular basis into your diet. Okay, so why is it that you need bitter foods for hormone balance? So there's three main reasons. First one is that a good number of bitter foods have sulfur in them, and the body uses sulfur to make a compound known as glutathione. Now, glutathione is one of the many things in the body that plays a critical role in getting toxins out of the body, and it is capable of basically binding to toxins and escorting them out of the body. And also what's interesting with glutathione is that a significant amount of it is found in the liver. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you already know that the liver is an organ that is critical for hormone balance, for getting rid of toxins, of excess hormones, as well as for also converting certain hormones. For example, converting your thyroid T4 hormone to thyroid T3, for example. So that is one major benefit, is that bitter foods will give you that sulfur to make that glutathione, which, like I said, a significant portion is found in the liver. Right now, second benefit is that bitter foods trigger basically the production and the flow of bile. Now, bile is the substance that is made in the liver. Okay, and what happens in the body at a very, very high level is that as bile flows, that bile carries toxins with it. Okay, so it carries those toxins with it, and eventually those toxins will end up in the intestinal tract, where we will eliminate them through our bowel movements. So you do need that bile flow to be happening and that bile production to first happen in the liver if you have any hopes of getting rid of toxins and any other waste that is basically not serving you. Now, the third benefit of consuming more bitter foods is that many of them can also help you to regulate blood sugar levels. So a good example comes from bitter melon. This is a food that has been studied fairly extensively, and some of the research has shown that it has insulin-like compounds, which basically will help you to lower your blood sugar levels. Now, this, of course, is beneficial for just about everything to do with hormone health and the symptoms related to hormonal imbalance. So whether we're talking about things like acne or weight gain, for example, those are strongly affected by blood sugar and insulin. Also, if you have PCOS, again, that is another condition that is strongly tied to blood sugar and insulin. So a lot of different things that have to do with overall hormonal imbalance can be significantly improved just by adding these bitter foods to your diet. So overall, bitter foods are really good, not just for the liver, but really for the entire digestive system. Okay, and once we can support that digestive system and get it functioning better, you're also in a better position to break down your food, to better absorb that food, and also, of course, to improve symptoms like bloating and gas, for example. Okay, so now let's transition into how you can actually some of the foods that you can add to your diet. So we're going to talk really about foods and herbs in this section. So there's lots of foods that fall under the category of bitter, and I'm just going to run through a few of them. Some of them, as you will see, are extremely bitter, and then others are really more on the mild side. But this is just to give you an idea of things that you definitely want to start adding into your regular diet. Okay, so some of the main bitter foods: cruciferous veggies. All right, so things like kale, radishes, broccoli, cauliflower. Again, as you'll notice there that they all have a range of bitterness as far as the taste, but it doesn't matter. As long as you're adding these into your diet on a regular basis, you're going to get the benefits. And when it comes to cruciferous veggies in particular, so they're bitter and they have that sulfur that we talked about. Okay, the cruciferous veggies also are well known for helping when it comes to getting rid of excess estrogen. So this is a group of vegetables that you definitely want to be eating every single day, regardless of where even your estrogen sits, because they have so many different benefits to them, and they are a must-have when you're trying to balance your hormones. Okay, so cruciferous veggies, that would be one category. Cacao powder. So yeah, I specify cacao powder because you do have cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is processed. You want cacao powder. That is going to be very bitter, but you can use it to make your own, let's say, hot chocolate at home. You could use it in desserts as well. You can also try dark chocolate. So anything that would be maybe 70% and above of dark chocolate will fall in the category of bitter. Artichokes, endives, citrus fruits as well. I mentioned bitter melon before. Sesame seeds, eggplant, cranberries. Those are just a few foods that you can definitely add to your diet to start getting these benefits. Now, herbs. Again, herbs are huge in this category. There is something known as digestive bitters. So if you are working, let's say, with an herbalist or with a naturopathic doctor, you can definitely get more information from this. But the use of digestive bitters is very much an old tradition when you're talking about herbalism and naturopathic medicine. Okay, so some of the herbs that fall into this category include dandelion, burdock, schisandra, chamomile. So you can drink some chamomile tea. It's also great for things like menstrual cramps. Wormwood, green tea, Oregon grape root, milk thistle, goldenrod, and cloves. Those are just a few. There are more herbs. Those are just a few herbs that are considered bitter. Some of those do well in the form of a tea. A good number of them you'd be better off taking in the form of a tincture. Okay, and as far as tinctures go, I will leave a link below in the description section. So as far as a brand that I recommend, so Herb Farm has a liver health tincture that incorporates many of these classic bitter herbs that you can add to your diet. So this will be acting as a supplement, so if you don't want to take in the form of a tea. So that's basically it for today's video. Okay, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and of course feel free to share it with anybody that would benefit from this information. And I really sincerely want to thank you all for supporting the channel, for all of your kind words after every video. And I really do hope that this information is helping you to get closer to your goals. All right, so thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.